This video is an intro into the interface of Illustrator, and we're going to do a consistent movement here. We're going to go to Open Illustrator, and you'll see that. And Illustrator is a vector-based program. In other words, we were talking about a raster-based program. Everything's made of pixels. Well, in Illustrator, it's a vector-based program. In other words, everything's made of mathematical or geometric paths. What a vector allows you to do is you can size it at any size, and you will always have crisp edges. So when you're creating graphics, logos, things that are for print and easy readability that can be sized across different applications like t-shirts versus business cards versus letterheads versus package design, etc., etc. A vector-based program will allow you to create images that carry across those platforms without any distortion or having to adjust for print. So this is ideal for print. Some people use Illustrator also as a layout program, which is what InDesign is primarily designed for. But in Illustrator, we'll be creating graphics and using it to help us do some supplemental things for layout. And we will be creating a widget or app icon for your magazine mobile app, and we can use Illustrator for that as well, since it's a logo-based drawing. So same thing with all the other Adobe programs. When you open the program and start and launch it, you'll either, if you've never opened it before, you'll get a slightly different screen, but it will allow you to create a new or open a document. If you have several documents, you will show up in a thumbnail grid. And you can also look at different types of tutorials, which Adobe has gotten really good about providing over the last several years. So we're going to create a new, and if you don't create it in the little screen here, you can always go up to your top menu bar. Just like with other programs, you're going to have that option at the very top of your computer screen. So I'm going to start a new document here, and same thing, you can design for mobile, you can design for web, print, film and video, art, illustration. There's so many things and capabilities that it has. Most of the things we're going to be using it for is for print. So again, you've got all your presets here, or you can create a custom size, whatever you need. Your units, again, will be over here. You can change that. This may not change it across the board. If you want to change your units everywhere, you can go to your Illustrator CC and your preferences there and change your units across to be whatever you would like. But if we're working in print, we're probably going to be working in points, picos, or inches. And it's automatically going to give you a CMYK color mode set, which is what we use for print, RGB for color, for web. So if I start the document in Illustrator, they'll call it different things in different programs. In Illustrator, this is considered an artboard. In InDesign, it's a page. In Photoshop, it's a page or artboard. So your workspace, or canvas. So your workspace is called different things in the different programs, but essentially it's all the same layout space. So we can create whatever we want here in terms of that. Again, you're going to have your same interface options as the other Adobe programs provide. You'll have your top, above the panel, you'll have some options for the entire document. You'll still have your access to Adobe stock photos. You'll still have your access to Bridge. And depending on what tool you are using, your panel here will change to accommodate. Now, notice in Illustrator, we're in the type tool, but it's not giving us the same panel as we had in InDesign. However, you'd have the same tools. They're just going to be condensed and compressed in a more or less visible format. So for instance, I've got my character window, it's right there. So it's just formatted a little differently invisibly on the panel. But you will have the same options. So when I open my character window, I've got my character typeface, my styles underneath, my font styles, my size, all of my different options here. And again, you can scroll over these icons and it will tell you what they are if you're not sure. So I've got my paragraph options. You know, if I do something differently and I need to go back to how I set up the document, I can set that up and change whatever I need to if my margins need to be different or what have you. Here are my preferences, so I can make that customizable to what I need. You'll have your windows here to the right again. So this allows you, again, your layer window. Those icons will look the same in all of your other programs. Some you will see consistent. Some programs will have extra tools that you don't see in other programs. So you'll learn these as you get to use them. And we've again got our panel up here. Notice my ruler is not showing. So a lot of these options you still have, like for instance, if I want to view my ruler, I can come down here and go to ruler, show rulers, or it will tell you what those shortcuts are. So Command R or Control R on a PC, I can click that and click it again and it will make it viewable or invisible. Same with other programs. If I control click or right click, I can change the units of the ruler. And sometimes, as you notice, when I start a text box here, you'll notice that it starts writing in Latin. In Illustrator, it automatically sometimes fills in your text box with placement type, which is just in gibberish Latin. So that throws people off sometimes, so I just wanted to make you aware of that. But again, you can look at the different views of how you want to view your toolbar. I can view it as a single column or I can make it a double column. For some reason, it doesn't give me the option of making it horizontal in Illustrator. And at the bottom, you'll see again your page options here. The percentage of how I'm viewing it, how zoomed in or zoomed out it is, the number of pages I can access. So if I had 20 pages, I could go to from page 1 to 18 very easily. And you can show different selections, current tool, date and time, so whatever you want viewable there. So Illustrator, again, a vector program, is designed to create images that are created with paths, not pixels. So if I draw an object and color it in, if you notice, if I zoom in, no matter how far I zoom in, you notice that I don't see any pixels. All of these things are created with paths. So I can select these paths and alter them. So that's the difference there. And you'll learn more about the difference between the programs and why they're designed the way they are and how we use them and why we use Photoshop for certain reasons and why we use Illustrator InDesign for certain reasons. So they all have their place and purpose. So it's good to understand why that is. So thanks for listening. Illustrator is actually, I'm a little biased, it's my favorite program out of the three. Everybody will find which one they like the best out of the three that we'll be using in the class. So maybe you can give me your feedback on that during the semester. So good luck, and again, I hope this helps with your orientation to Illustrator.